welcome back to the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. And after a 1 week hiatus, we are back. And Rocky had some things to tend to in the homeland. Mark was busy not working.
By the set, you can
As
tell.
always.
Zach, I'm sure, was at some type of whatever that guy's name is, fan club thing. What's that guy's name again? Harry Styles.
What's that guy's name again?
Me, I was just being a dude, drinking beers. But how's everybody's week?
I don't want to.
Week and a half gone.
I'm not going to answer your question now.
Yeah. And anyways, it was Austin Bell, please.
Oh yes, you're right. It's Austin Bell. He's the flavor of the month.
He's moved on.
Yes, he's moved on.
I'm going to see if Austin Bell's a real person because that's definitely not his last name.
Whatever his name.
What is his
Elvis?
What is his real?
That's
Austin
his name.
who?
I'm not going to say.
Hey guys, if you get some time, watch our other show. Right, hit that slide, Guys on Draft, where we draft teams of things. I think last week we drafted the strangest things to get on your hands. What did we draft today?
Worst jobs.
Worst jobs to have. Worst jobs to have.
And thank you, viewers, for pushing us up over the 4,000 subscriber limit, man.
Yeah, that was awesome, and we're gonna have some more stuff
Pretty
coming.
cool.
But please
Austin
support Guys on Draft and vote.
Butler.
Dutler. What a
Butler.
douchey name.
With 2 T's.
Butler.
Yes.
Butler.
Catching
Yeah.
strays over here.
Yes.
Just living life.
All right, so nobody had anything interesting happen in the last 2 weeks. I mean, come on, you were in Cleveland.
Seriously, you were in America's
I had a-
shithole. You got to have some stories.
Cleveland is a great city. I don't know what you're talking about, Mark.
You never
you
say
come
that
back-
with conviction.
You go to Cleveland for a week. You come back. You got a Band-Aid under your eye.
I mean,
for
you go to
crying out
Cleveland,
loud.
you get in a
And
fight.
yeah.
You go to Cleveland, you get in a fight. That's what happens in
Yeah,
Cleveland.
Mark doesn't know about that life.
Yeah, well, I'm not from South Jersey. Hanging out at the beach, with the boys,
Frosted
That's
tips.
your
in?
fault.
Yeah, getting my tips frosted.
That's not my problem. That sounds like a you problem. That's not a me problem.
Hanging out at the beach.
We frost tips. We don't get our tips frosted where we're from, right?
Yeah, I bet.
Right?
This guy. Yeah.
I've had frosted tips before.
Sad. It's not even a city.
The 3rd grade.
Hanging out.
I did
Hacky sacking.
I had an anniversary
sacking.
over the weekend.
What happened?
Yeah, what?
4 years with my girlfriend.
Oh,
wow,
wow.
congratulations.
So how did you guys celebrate?
We went to see Harry Styles. No,
keep it
kidding.
PG. Keep it PG. But
Yeah,
did
just
you
had
take her out to a nice dinner?
Yeah, we
or-
had some dinner, just
Where'd you guys go?
casual.
Applebee's? Something
No,
like that?
we went to Kobe's.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe's
that's
is
a
nice.
Good place, yeah.
We,
I like
we go
Kobe.
Did
there
they
every year.
squirt the sesame oil in your mouth? Did you do that?
No, they did not.
Should have did it.
Nah.
It's a wild time.
Now they actually let you do it to them.
What?
Yeah.
Little not really.
Oh,
No,
that's
it's-
kinky.
little reverse sake.
And they go, thank you very much afterwards.
That's pretty good, actually.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's good. That 4 years is a long time, man.
It is a long time.
Wow.
So did you...
Wonder how Trish feels.
No.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
You sound like
How many?
my mother.
30 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, so did
Looking at that face?
did you take a knee? Did you...
Nope, not yet.
I had to put him on.
Yeah, what'd you do that for?
Because she's not watching the show.
I've
He
been
told
getting
me
that
that.
question so much lately.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey.
4 years is a long, it's a
I'm-
long time.
I'm 21 years
Hey,
old.
wait.
Yeah. I
Hey.
dated my wife 4.5 years, for almost 5 years before we got engaged.
And he's mentioned on the show numerous times that, they could have ended at any moment, right? So
Any given moment.
I would say, wait, you're young, man.
I'm not in a rush, yeah.
Wait till you guys hit
Mark-
that maturity bump and see how it,
Mark, how long did you
date?
date your wife before y'all got married?
We've been together for
Stupid ass noises.
I think we dated for 7 years.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
so you had to
Nice.
really talk her into it and you had to wear her down. That's what I'm guessing.
No, what it was is she kept trying to get on. She kept trying to get on the mortgage, and I was just refusing.
Common law, she was
It's so bad.
common law marriage.
Then
Yeah.
she was like, "Guess what, asshole? I'm pregnant." And I was like,
That
here
she
we
trapped
go.
you. Damn.
I
Then he had
guess you're on the mortgage. I'm just kidding. I love my wife.
He had to
We-
quit his job as the fluffer. And
that
sorry, that
was
we're,
the,
It was a tough
at
time.
that point, it was the nudie
we're,
booth mopper.
we're merging shows. Go watch
Yeah.
Guys on Draft.
Guys on draft. So
Speaking
Oh,
of
man.
the 2 shows, we might have 2 shows, but they're under one social media handle at UFL Podcast.
Yes.
Go
Yeah.
follow on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever you have it. If you say something funny, if you say something mean, accurate, not accurate, we might shout you out. The first one is funny. Crosshair7591 on TikTok said that dude is Andrew Schultz. Question mark. Talking about you. kind of look like a has-been Andrew Schultz over there.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know how to take that.
That's not a bad comp.
He's gotten Andrew Schultz and he's gotten Ted Cruz now. So
Yeah.
Google.
I would
Ted
run
Cruz
with the Andrew Schultz.
Yeah. Ted Cruz is insulting to me, but I'll take Andrew Schultz.
I thought that was funny because
Yeah.
it's
You
all
do look like him. Yeah.
You're an older Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, it does look like him, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because there's a bunch of like football comments, like not intelligence, but just like things about it. And then is that dude Andrew Schultz?
I should probably put it up on the screen.
No, I'll do a cue picture that I put in, and
This
not
is
you.
100% a young Rocky right here.
The second comment is from Instagram, Nick Frederick, I think. So we were talking about
Strong name.
Pretty sure we're talking about Baker Mayfield. How many wins does he get? Or maybe we're talking about the
6.
Panthers' chances of playoffs. One of the two. And then he said, someone was talking about. Phil was talking about Sam Darnold.
That's pretty good.
About the upside that Sam Darnold has, having him start over Baker Mayfield. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then Nick Frederick said, "More upside to Sam Darnold?" ? Bro, have some milk with the crack you're smoking.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you something, Freddie. Right?
Nick Fred.
You're just drinking the Kool-Aid. These guys don't watch any of these guys play. They just whatever the freak they say on Sports Center or First Take, they just run with that.
So you
Sam
were saying-
Darnold is all I was saying. He's more talented. He was the
You're
higher
right.
prospect his
You're right.
whole college
You're
career.
right. You're right.
He has more
You're right.
natural talent. He's a bigger
100%.
guy.
Bigger guy, taller guy, faster guy,
so
stronger arm.
Shut up.
100% better prospect than Baker Mayfield.
That's all I was saying. All right.
But I like Matt Corral there, so I'd like to see a little.
You like those hands?
third? No, that's Kenny Pickett.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Matt Corral can actually palm a football. I think there's a third horse in that race that eventually wins.
No PJ Walker fans?
I like PJ Walker, but he is what he is. I think.
He is what he is.
Yeah.
The third and final comment that we're going to be highlighting this week is from a verified Instagram user. This was about it was something with the Eagles. Oh, you guys were trying to piss me off with the Eagles about how
Jalen
Jalen
Hurts.
Hurts. He threw 4 interceptions in practice.
No, don't misrepresent. 4 interceptions, 3 sacks. Let's do the math here.
And 3 incompletions.
3 incompletions.
Oh,
that
wow.
equals 10.
Well, huge
Yeah.
offseason. So the Adam Lefkoe, host on TNT.
Adam Lefkoe.
NBA, big podcast host, nice sports face. So thank you, for Adam Lefkoe, for commenting. He said super whoa, because the whoa big offseason thing is a reference to his podcast when he used to do it. How people will have these headlines about I don't know, like Daniel Jones gets the flu. Is his job, is he going to lose his job? Everyone's like, whoa, big offseason. There's exaggeration over stupid shit in the offseason.
That's right.
So super whoa from Adam Lefkoe. So you guys got ratioed there.
No, we appreciate. Well, not really, because that's the point.
You keep saying the ratio,
It's the
which
point.
is not true.
It's the point of it.
Yeah.
Look, we're trying to make it a big deal for nothing. I mean, that was the joke. Are you not in on it? Of course
I'm just
not.
going to keep saying, listen, I did a deep dive into Gardner Minshew.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why.
I don't think Gardner Minshew is terrible.
He
but
is not a terrible quarterback. And if you look at his stats, they are shockingly good. He is better than
Jacksonville.
Yes, he's better than several starters right now.
100%.
In fact, I would prefer him to be backing up Deshaun in Cleveland than possibly Jacoby Brissett.
Well, yeah, no, and we were trying to, shake your leg a little bit or whatever weird term
So
is for that.
in week 4, when he's taking over the job from Jalen, and he becomes your quarterback, and suddenly you're growing a thicker mustache, we're going to remind you.
You do
that
look
you didn't
more like
him.
him than Jalen Hurts, definitely.
You're wearing a pair of cutoff shorts. I'm just saying.
I've been told that, and then Josh Allen's accountant or something like that.
Do you guys remember when Gardner Minshew, I'm sure you do, did that photo shoot on the ranch with his shirt open?
Yeah.
Right? So I remember I showed my mom a picture of it as a joke. She said, "Who's that?" So he's hot.
Okay.
He's also
so
hot.
I can get in with the families.
Yeah, basically.
Call me dad.
I beat shit out of you, right? But funny joke.
He has unfortunately been linked to Uncle Rico from
Yeah.
So, I mean,
which you can see, but they did an
you
interview
haven't seen
together.
Napoleon Dynamite.
who doesn't like Uncle Rico?
Right, but they did an interview together years later after the fame of Napoleon Dynamite. Uncle Rico is still in pretty good shape. He could probably still throw a football over them there mountains, but it was
Over them there mountains.
great. It was,
I love when he threw the steak.
Dude, it was great.
No idea.
You
what
haven't
you're
seen
talking
Napoleon Dynamite?
No.
Oh, Jesus
Well, then
in
you
heaven.
would get all these references then. But it was fantastic, man. The camaraderie between the two, and Baker
all
just
right,
leaning into it.
I
Was
really
fantastic.
wish you were going to the concert just for the
know.
movies
I know.
that we would make you.
Oh, you're
watch.
not going to the concert
No,
now?
he's not going to the concert.
Where's Mark?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You're about 2 months behind
It's
on that.
ridiculous.
All right, so thank you.
He was going.
We'll talk about this.
Yeah,
We'll
a
talk
while
about this
ago.
after the show, Mark.
Yeah, like
I
Well,
love
I
you.
mean, I'm not including on
All
the
right, let's
thread,
get into
so
our
there's
comments.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for commenting.
That's the-
In fact, we had a special commenter that wanted to, if you are watching or if you're commenting on our
Yeah.
TikTok or Instagram, Twitter, you can always call into the show. You can let us know your takes if you think that we have
and
weird
this is
ones
important.
or bad ones.
Yeah, we don't mind if you disagree or if you call me the Andrew Schultz. If you have knowledge and you're not just sparting out of your ass, listen, if you have knowledge, we invite you on to disagree with us.
Yeah.
We're completely okay with disagreements. You've seen our show.
Yeah.
Clearly, we disagree.
First off,
so.
the Andrew Schultz thing is a compliment. He's a lot younger and he's funny. So I mean, you should take that.
Yeah,
and
you
just
should
run
be
with it,
happy.
man.
Mark, I am
You should be
funnier
super
You should go
happy.
tell
You want-
Trish tonight. Look, somebody said I look like this guy.
So
And
the
then
See
you
what
should
that does
also-
for you.
You should print out the picture and tape it to the ceiling.
Mark, whatever it takes in your bedroom to work it up, you go do that, man. But I'm good at mine, buddy. I don't need. I just throw up a signal and we're good, buddy.
All right. So I'm just going to brush us through. The at Chopped by the Cook commented on our Instagram about a few of our posts, and he wanted to call into the show. So we have our second caller of the entire podcast history. His name is Chad Hill, and we're gonna call him right now. Hello.
Hey, Chad, how you doing,
Hello,
buddy? What's
hello.
going on?
There we go.
Hey,
Not
Chad.
much. How are you, gentlemen?
What's up,
We're
Chad?
doing
Hello,
good,
hello,
man.
gentlemen. How are we?
Sorry
Excellent.
about
Great to
the
hear, great to hear.
technical difficulties.
You didn't even have to mention that because
Oh,
we can
no
cut
worries.
that.
You know
This
what?
is like the first time we're calling
Hey,
Chad.
we are truthful with our viewers.
Are we? Because I can recall a couple of stories where you interjected yourself into the story and they were not your stories, buddy.
You know
So-
what, Mark? I'm going to mute you.
So Chad, this
Hey,
is
we're all human, gentlemen. No worries.
exactly Chad. This is Zach talking. I have a few questions for you, but first, let you tell us about yourself a little bit. You know, you're a coach for a team with the WFA. What's that all about?
So, my name's Chad Hill. I'm the defensive coordinator for the Capital City Savages. We are a women's professional adult football league, 11-on-11 full contact.
Wow.
We're based out of Lansing, Michigan. The league as of right now has 70 teams, ranging from California all the way to Maine.
Holy shit.
It's a big league.
Yeah. So, Chad, you've commented on a few of our posts, and we appreciate all of that. The first thing that
Get
Absolutely.
emotional
Guys,
over
I'm-
here.
yeah,
buddy.
I was getting
Yeah,
tearing up
Zach's,
over here.
yeah, Zach's getting really
Well, we
emotional.
appreciate the engagement. We appreciate that you wanted to call in. One of the first things that we saw you talk about was we were talking about playoff teams. Are the Steelers a
Sure.
playoff team? Are the Colts a playoff team? Is there a team that you think that people maybe have under their radar? A team that will be surprising, or a team that people are thinking, you're wrong for thinking that? Like, what's your surprise playoff team this year?
So I'm going to say a team. This team did make the playoffs this past year, but it was only by one game. And I'm going to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes,
Oh, man.
I knew I liked you,
Oh.
Chad.
Oh
This
god,
team-
this feels like this
knew
is
I
a
liked
This
setup.
team,
How much pre-show
This team-
communication have you had with Zach?
Not enough.
zero.
Oh,
Zero.
I feel like he paid you.
The reason why I want to talk about Philly is because, number one, Jalen Hurts has gotten better. Is he going to sit there and throw 35 touchdowns next year?
No.
Probably not. However, what I've really noticed about Philly from last year, before I talk a little bit about the offseason, is that Nick Sirianni was a guy that nobody had really heard about, who didn't have some crazy coaching background as a wild OC or a dominant DC, but he came in and he got the most out of a roster that nobody expected to do much.
Hell
and
yeah.
then what he did is, as the season went on, he was able to then use the best pieces of his team to win football games. Like Miles Sanders had a couple 100-yard games at the end of the year for the fantasy experts out there. And then he started using multiple backs and allowing Jalen Hurts to run more and using his offensive line to run teams over. And in a way tough, in a NFC East part, which was competitive this year, especially at the top end, they made the playoffs. Not to mention, I think they've had my favorite offseason of any team. I thought they had the best draft day by a mile. I think Nakobe Dean in the third round was the steal of the draft.
Without a doubt, that was ridiculous. The fact that Nakobe Dean was talked about in the top 10 prior to that injury and fell to the third round is criminal that nobody selected him in the first 78 picks or whatever it was. Correct. I hate the Eagles. I'm just going to flat out say it. I hate the Eagles. That was a brilliant pick, and the trade for AJ Brown to go and get Devontae Smith some help, because Devontae Smith he's a slight dude, so I don't know that he can carry the weight of a WR1 to go out and get AJ Brown to pair with him, and then have Dallas Goedert, and then you hit on Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was severely underused in that offense, and I think this year Miles Sanders, if used correctly. I hate to admit it, but I'm kind of agreeing with you. I think that offense is very underrated.
We just like to bother Zach
I think
a
they
whole
win
lot.
the division and make the playoffs.
Let me ask you a question, just because in a little bit we're going to be picking our AFC, division teams that we think are going to kind of come out. Do you have a team in the AFC that you think is going to come out and maybe surprise people?
Real quick, before you answer, let's not argue with him either.
No, we're not arguing. Yeah, we just want his pick.
Yes.
So from the AFC, I think for the first time ever, you're going to find 4 teams from the same division make the playoffs.
Okay.
Now that it's expanded to 7,
The West.
now that it's
AFC
expanded to
West.
7, it's certainly possible now. And I think that it's very, very possible that all 3 wildcard teams could come from the AFC West.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be some history made there. The problem is Indianapolis really better than Oakland? I don't think so. There's moving pieces in other AFC teams. I don't think the Dolphins are ready. I don't think that Mac Jones and the Patriots make it back with no offensive coordinator.
Agreed.
And there's just other pieces that from other teams I just don't see them making. Like for instance, the Dolphins right now, I think they're going to completely implode. But that's
I'd like to hear about
obviously
that.
I'm not an NFL GM, but so.
Well, you think with the coaching vacuum in Miami, losing their coach the way they did, you think that's what's going to cause Miami to have some trouble?
Well, I think that's a part of it. In the NFL and in any sports, like pro sports league, it's very, very tough to just grab a bunch of pieces, throw them together, and expect it to gel.
Right.
So what I'm saying is they have new left tackle, new wide receiver 1, 2 new running backs, a new offensive. They got a center that they got in free agency, and then they drafted as well. And not to mention now Tua's got a new offense to learn, a new head coach, a new play caller, and we expect them to do all of that immediately and figure that out. Their first 3 games of the year are New England, Baltimore, and the Bills. And then their last 3 of their last 4 games of the year are the Bills, the Jets, which should probably be a win, but then they got to go to Buffalo on December 18th.
Yeah.
These are good points. And if you're correct in your analysis, I really hope that they don't give Mike McDaniels a short leash, because I really do think that he is a great head coach candidate, and I love the way that he relates to players. And I think that if you're going to get a team to gel quickly, especially a team that young, you bring in a young coach that everybody can relate to. I really like to see what he would do in a 3-year plan.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Agreed. I just don't think they're a 10-11 win team this year. Yeah. I think we're going to see that Tua is going to hold them back, frankly.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, Tua's really got to prove it to me. I still don't know that he is their guy, and I kind of agree with you. I have to see him develop, and I think there could be some infighting within their receiving core if he can't, because Tyreek is used to getting the ball.
And he's going to, though. He's going to.
Well, he is, but he's used to getting the ball a certain way, at a certain speed. I mean, he's used to getting the ball quick, and I just don't know that Tua is going to be able to read that quickly, dissect the defense, and get the ball to him and Waddle and the running back side. I just think there's a lot coming at him, and he just hasn't proven to me that he's a fast identifier of the open person.
Think about that, though. If you have a young quarterback that you have those question marks, you couldn't have gone out in free agency and scored a better wide receiver one than a dude that is so fast that he's uncoverable. He can cover mistakes made by Tua, which is the reason why they brought him in. And then you have Jalen Waddle, who last year showed that he's an underneath master. And what that does for me, and I'm taking shit for this, but I'm standing by it, man. It turns Mike Gesicki into Travis Kelce-like workload in this offense.
Yeah.
And there's no better best friend to a young quarterback than a tight end.
No, I think you're right. I think that's what they've done.
Agreed.
But again, like you said, are there enough balls to make everybody happy? And, now you've got a great report out of Raheem Mostert, who's healthy,
who Mike McDaniel's brought over.
Yeah, but it's just another guy that's going to be demanding. I don't know.
We'll have to revisit at the end of the season, boys. All right, thank you, Chad.
All right.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Chad.
Yep. Have a great night, guys.
You too.
Peace.
Well, that was a pretty cool conversation. What do we got next on the board today, boys?
I think it's cue dropping for the board audio.
Pressing issues. What's the issue? If there's issues, we gonna press them.
Oh, yeah, come on down. Hey, baby, ready.
Fucking shit. So what are we talking about? AFC predictions that we talked about with Chatty Boy on the phone already?
I don't think he'll like being called Chatty Boy. He seems like a man.
Who wants to rip him off?
Chad, man.
Does anyone remember their way too early AFC predictions? I personally do.
I don't.
I do.
No, I don't. I mean, I remember some, but I think it's all changed now with camp battles and
Really?
yeah. I mean, I think it changes every time a player gets hurt.
Fluid.
Yeah, it's fluid.
I'm kind of sticking to my guns here. Are we? Should we just rip them all off? Should we?
Yeah, rip it.
We gonna go one at a time or
Yeah, just right down the road.
one division at a time? I'm saying, or one
One
guy?
word, dude. All right, you have a tendency to keep talking. Just say your team and go.
right.
Sorry.
wow.
so we're
All
picking
right.
we're picking all seven here.
When he's right, he's right.
Oh no. I thought it was just AFC champion.
Division winners. It was,
Oh.
Really? Did you think that?
Go ahead.
So we're just going for division winners.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess we could go wild card after, or maybe not. I don't know.
Well, we kind of already did that. Well, you rip off your division winners, right?
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Colts. I think that's my easiest pick from the AFC South. I think they win that division easily. I know the Titans are a good football team, but I don't know. I just like the Colts more. Do what you want with that. I'm gonna go with. Now it gets hard. I'm gonna say the Ravens actually win the AFC North. I think they're going to be healthy. I don't think people remember how depleted they were when it comes to their injuries last year before the season even started, let alone once the season actually started. Buffalo Bills is the next easiest pick. I think AFC East is theirs to lose, and they're not going to lose it. And that leaves me with the hardest division. I think the AFC West. It can go a few different ways. Part of me wants to say the Chiefs because they are a team of winning culture. I think the Chargers make a leap. I think the Chargers are going to do it with Khalil Mack on defense, with just their wide receivers being concrete in that offense, with Justin Herbert taking hopefully another step. I think the Chargers, this is actually the Chargers to lose. This is their division to lose, and I don't think they do it this
So
year.
that's a great segue. I said I wasn't going to talk, but I fucking lied, just like Rocky Stories. All right, I'm going to go off of what Chad said. I think this AFC West, man, is a powerhouse. There is a great chance that all four of these teams make the playoffs. I famously, on TikTok, TikTok star, I left the Chiefs out of the playoffs. And I think, honestly, if I'm looking at it again, I think I still do leave the Chiefs out in this division. Chad talked about camaraderie, right? And he talked about teams being able to gel. Oakland brought in some great players, and they have a guy in Carr that can lead this program. They brought in an old friend in Devontae Adams. This offense looks a lot different. The defense is solid. I think Oakland takes the West. All right, that's probably the toughest division to pick. I wanted to lead off with that.
Definitely.
East is easy for me. I think it's Buffalo hands down. I think Buffalo actually ends up winning this division by like 3 or 4 games. I think Buffalo is just going to destroy the East. In the South, I agree. Like I said, I think that the Colts, insert Matt Ryan, take out Carson Wentz. The Colts are definitely in the playoffs last year. And then in the North, this is the toughest one for me. There's 2 teams that I can 100% count out. Out of the 2 that are remaining, I'm with you, man. Baltimore and how they were depleted. I think I've changed my tune a little bit. I like Baltimore here. I like the fact that they're changing this offense kind of to tailor Lamar Jackson. And, they got a couple of guys back from last year that were injured. I think Baltimore pulls it out.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, so I'll be quick here. East, Buffalo, easy. You don't even have to explain nothing about that. I mean, it's a waste of time, right? I think the Titans are better than the Colts still. I think they have a better coach. So they'll win. And even though Henry won't be what he was, he's still probably one of the top 5 backs in the league. I think the Bengals are going to win the North. I think the Ravens have gotten figured out. All the defensive in that division are good, and I don't think they could do better than splitting with the division, and I don't think they're going to be great. I think they'll be solid. And in the West, which is the hardest one, I go with you. I say the Chargers are going to win that division. I don't know that all those teams make the playoffs. I don't believe in Denver yet because I still don't think Russell is what he was, and I don't think he could lift that team.
Yeah, I think there's actually a lot of, to me, the hardest is the West. I don't believe in the Raiders for several reasons. I want to believe in the Raiders. The Raiders trailed in 15 out of 17 games last year.
Name their wide receiver 1.
It's Devontae Adams.
No, then last year.
Yeah, I mean Henry Ruggs was probably their.
No, it was Hunter Renfrow.
Well, he ended up being their most receptions, but I think going into the season it was Ruggs. I don't think that changes things, and here's why. Look at the number of touchdowns that Carr. Everybody talks about Carr and what a great quarterback he is. I think he's a respectable quarterback. But if you look at the number of touchdowns he's thrown, 23, 22, 25, he's only thrown over 30 a couple times, and he's only thrown like 33 once. That was his second season. Everybody's elevating him to this like Rodgers or Brady, and I want to believe. I haven't seen it yet. Now, he hasn't had a Devontae Adams, but I got to see it first. So I am going to go and say if I had to pick I do have to pick right now. It's either the Chargers or the Chiefs until I'm proven differently. One. I would say that I'm going to still go with the Chargers like you guys are saying.
Oh, man, we all got Chargers, huh?
Bills, to me, it's easy. I do like the Jets, what they're doing, but
not to win the division.
Not to win the division, so it's be the Bills. I want to say I agree with Phil on the Titans, but I think Matt Ryan in Indy is enough to kind of put them over the top, so I'm going to go the Colts.
Is Matt Ryan not Ryan Tannehill?
No.
Without being able to run?
No, definitely not.
I think he's brighter than Tannehill.
You realize Matt Ryan?
Right now. I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about his career.
I think he's brighter than Ryan Tannehill.
100%.
Okay.
Matt Ryan didn't make too many mistakes last year. I'm not saying Ryan Tannehill does. I'm just saying the Colts needed someone to not make mistakes last year. And Ryan Tannehill is still going to be Ryan Tannehill, and they were what they were last year.
I just think Matt Ryan is one of the smartest quarterbacks in the NFL.
That's good.
I think Baltimore, if they put it together, is the best team in that conference, in the North. The Bengals did a lot of things to get better. I love their offensive line. I love their offense. They're going to be better than they were last year if they stay healthy. They didn't change the 2 worst corners in the league who let everybody score on them. That was their Achilles heel, and that to me is what separates them from the Ravens. So I say Ravens, Colts, Bills, Chargers.
I would like to just say about the Ravens, do I think they squeak by and win the division? Yes. I don't think that they overwhelmingly win it.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to not pick the Bengals for this, and that would be my only amendum from when we did our way too early playoff predictions for me personally.
Did you say amendum?
Whatever. I lost my train of thought. Thank you, Mark.
Addendum.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, the wide receiving core for the Ravens is what worries me the most. Their offense isn't like extremely dynamic, I guess you can say. They just shipped away their best receiver to the Cardinals.
But I think that
they're
they
waiting
got
on,
is it Bateman that's ready to take a step up.
They're waiting on. They are waiting for someone to make that air raid, or not the air raid, but they want to kind of get like air raid-esque. They're a little bit run heavy. That's my only kind of worry, but. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that J.K. isn't healthy, he's going to start the year possibly on the PUP list kind of scares me, but I still think that they're probably the team right now to beat.
Cool.
All right, so on to the NFC, and we'll talk about a big-faced quarterback, Kyler Murray, who got a big contract.
He did.
It's a sweet one.
We could talk about Jackson right here and what this means for him as far as his extension status or what that's going to turn into. But I'd rather just talk about Murray for now. And
let's do it.
What do we think about not only the terms of the contract, the stipulations?
Oh my gosh!
But is he worth it? I mean, there's arguments to be had on both sides of that. But what do we think? Are we happy with Kyler Murray getting this money if he's on our team?
I mean, 5 years, $230 million. Not all of it's guaranteed.
160 is guaranteed.
Yeah. 160.
I think. In flashes, but 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback already.
Pro Bowl means
popularity
nothing.
contest.
Somewhat, but he has in flashes shown that he's special.
Just not in the games that matter.
Yeah, that's true. And he did bow out in the playoff game, or not in the last game, right?
Yeah, playoff game.
Yeah, he played.
He was
bowed out. He could have played.
After his injury last year, he was noticeably worse.
Soft.
Yeah, he wasn't very good. And the playoff game was an embarrassment, and the way he conducted himself was a concern, even in the offseason. So there's all that stuff.
Well, somebody talk about the stipulations. What are the stipulations of this contract?
So there was two. There was he must complete at least 4 hours of an independent study as defined below each week, excluding any bye week during each playing season as defined. I mean, it's
you don't have to read the parentheses.
Goes on and on and on and on. The biggest being, he will not receive credit for independent study if the player is not personally studying or watching the material while it is being displayed or played, or if the player involved is not actually, like if he's not distracted by TV or video games.
This is terrible.
Or if he's not browsing the internet, like they feel like
he's on a leash.
Is not responsible.
We like to play quarterback attorney on here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, I object. The playbook in Arizona is on the top shelf. My client cannot reach that.
Okay.
I'm going to have an addendum in his contract
I have a
stating a step stool.
Do we know there's not terms like this in other quarterbacks' contracts?
I
don't know that we do.
So I think that there probably are some.
Yeah.
But I think that the reason, I think the fact that this was brought out,
that's true.
It's not.
I'll tell you
this
what.
intense.
It's not coming from Murray or his camp. It's definitely coming from that organization or somebody that's close to that organization.
Yeah, they're pushing it out on purpose. And from what I understand, there's a lot of players within the organization and coaches that question whether he's worth.
Well, you dabble in the esports world a little bit, right? Do you play like Madden and stuff like that, or no?
Last couple of years, no, but I play once in a while.
No. Is Kyler like? Is he on there? Like, is he like well known within the community?
He's on the game.
No, because I'm in a few different fantasy football forums, and I don't know if it's exaggeration of contract details or if it's serious, but they're saying that like, yeah, they finally cracked down. He's got to put down the Xbox and study some game film. Saying that apparently he's a big esports guy.
He is. I know that.
We've seen there was a wide receiver, right? This past year that said he was going to hang up the cleats and he was going to transition to esports solely. Yeah. And then Hollywood Brown also threatened to do that as well, I believe, right? Before going out to Arizona.
Well, the thing is, these guys.
That's a terrible combination. If he's like, damn.
That's funny.
Well, I think it's. I mean, I think the fact that they've put this many stipulations into it, and I'd love to honestly see what the Browns put in Watson's to see how. I mean,
no hanky panky.
Yeah, but I feel like they really are concerned about his maturity. They're really concerned about, and if you remember him coming out of college, he kind of said he wasn't sure if he wanted to play football.
Right. Yeah, there was some debate about baseball,
right?
Yeah. And maybe they're
well,
really
the thing is,
not
what
sure.
you were saying is true about the esports thing. A lot of these players, I mean, there's big money in esports too. I mean, comparable to NFL money in some cases. And a guy like him that already has a brand could easily join a team and sell merch and have his Twitch and just kind of be his own brand and play video games. And I think he'd be fine.
And not be 5'7" and getting hit.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, it's true, though. He could transition pretty easily.
That's all true. I think what the Cardinals have done is they can't do this over again. They took another quarterback in the first round. They've built a team around Kyler Murray. He's good enough to where it doesn't look like it's a disgusting amount of money for a terrible player at quarterback.
It's the market. It's enough. Right now. It is the market.
They have to pay him now. I mean, we say the same thing about the Browns. Like Baker took the Browns to the playoffs for the first time in forever. The Cardinals are not the same team as the Browns, but the Cardinals weren't relevant for a little bit of time, just a little bit of time until Kyler Murray came there. The culture changed just a little bit to where they're more explosive. They were more entertaining to watch. I think the Cardinals kind of had to cut their losses a little bit and not want to go through the same thing over and over again.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, how many teams right now? Well, how many teams last year when it was rumored they were going to trade Kyler? I guarantee you 12 to 15 teams tried to make an offer.
You're probably right.
He's just a small quarterback. I don't know if he lasts his contract. That's the only thing.
Yeah, and I think that's why they gave him 5 years. I think they're thinking after 5 years, he's not a quarterback probably that lasts.
No, because once he loses a step, I mean, then he loses most of the stuff that's special about him.
Yeah, his number one tool is escapability at this point. Yeah. So once he loses escapability, that height really then rears its ugly head.
Well, I think it's kind of what we're seeing with Russell Wilson, to be honest with you.
Well, and I think what you were saying is, and when he came back from his injury, he already seemed less willing to take off. Mm-hmm. And,
or able
maybe. Yeah. Because I know the Browns, their focus was on Russell Wilson first.
Yeah.
And Russell decided to not, and maybe for a lot of reasons, preferred to go to Denver to Cleveland. I was worried about the Browns picking up another short quarterback.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's at some point, it drops. Quarterback that relies on his speed.
Because you have to compensate for the lack of the height and the size.
That's right. And when it goes, it goes. Yeah. So, anyways.
That's right. All right, so let's get into something a little more lighter. I mean, the last week or so, there's been a media, just overwhelming media about the alternate uniforms and alternate helmets for the NFL. I mean, I've been pretty gassed about what the Giants are doing. I know you like the Kelly Green stuff. Chicago kind of sucks.
Can I ask you a question? Why?
Chicago shit is tight, dude.
Are
Those
all
orange helmets
teams-
are ridiculous.
You like that?
Why are not all teams doing it?
Here's what the mistake they made, I think. They needed to outline that C in the navy blue, and it'll look pretty cool. But just the plain C, it looks, I don't know.
Well, let me call Chicago.
cones.
They should definitely fire their PR marketer and
think so.
hire you because outlining the C is
Well,
obviously. If you don't think they've tested this in the market,
job, right? I'm podcasting. We're talking about helmets.
Nobody gives a shit what you
then
think.
fucking walk off the
Why?
set, you fuck.
Why would
I'm not here
all
to judge you,
teams
though.
not?
It's okay.
Well, that fucking segment
You're
is
allowed
talking
to
about the
disagree.
helmets.
You're allowed to
Why
disagree.
would
I'm not
all
here to
teams
judge you.
not do alternate?
Because some
helmets.
teams, realize if you were the Bears, that your normal helmet looks better than the alternate, and let's just not do it, right?
But to me, it seems like every team is going
Or
to
we can
sell.
spell out the fucking word Giants and have it on the side of our helmet and be like,
All right,
fucking
so
go.
with that, let's get
Goddamn
to
Giants.
let's get to it.
Yeah,
What do
so
we? Who
it-
wants to go first?
It begs the question.
See, that one looks better. That's not the one I seen online, though.
Yeah, dude, that shit is
No,
tight
no,
as
no, no.
hell.
The one I seen online doesn't look
All
like
right,
that's
so
not the one I
then
seen.
you're a fucking
let's settle
idiot.
it. Let's settle it.
Because that's the only
man.
one I've seen.
What's the
Giants. Well, look how good that looks.
What's the best? We'll start with Mark since he's got opinions. What's the best, worst? Maybe you could pick one or two or both.
Let's do this. Let's best without mentioning your team besides your
Well,
team.
that's good.
I wouldn't even pick my team. Honestly, the one that I like, dude, it's a fucking toss up.
I mean, you can say two
Well,
best and
just
two
pick
worst.
one, right? Because nobody's putting you on the stand.
It's Houston and Atlanta for sure.
Well, that's two.
Those helmets are tight
Just
as hell.
pick one.
Pick one. Pick one.
Uh,
Right now. Pick one.
I like Atlanta going back to the old fucking.
Okay, I'll go
dude, I
next.
like the
Here you go.
Atlanta.
Because I think the most obvious one is the Bengals helmet. I think that one is very clean. It's been asked for a while, but I'm gonna go Texans. I think the Texans helmet is just different. It pops. It's truly alternative. It's nice.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go Falcons. I think the Falcons one is the best.
Yeah.
I did like the Texans. I like the Patriots one too, but
It's more like throwback than alternative.
Yeah. I actually, to be honest with you, I'm going to choose one that you guys haven't already. I like the Jets, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was
Yeah, it's
a
not
pretty
bad.
classic look. I do like the Eagles also, but
was
I like
waiting
the
for that,
Jets.
I like the Jets. I wish they would have. It's like the same. See, the one I seen for Chicago, honestly, was just the white C, and I thought it looked shitty. The Jets one, I think they should have put the jet under it like they
Yeah,
had in the
they
early
should've.
'90s instead of the football.
100%.
And that would look cool. The New Orleans one, the
All right,
shit in the middle.
All right,
was
so
stupid.
worst. What's the worst?
I think the worst one, honestly. Well, Mark, your head's kind of in the way. I can't really see the.
I mean, I know what the worst one
I'm gonna-
is right off the rip.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. I don't really care for it. It's just black with the logo on it. It doesn't really look too different.
All right,
I mean,
to piggyback off of that,
yeah.
I think the Commanders one, which is just black with
I
a
was
W.
I was gonna pick that one. Yeah.
I mean, at least they got the bird on the Cardinals one.
It doesn't stand out at all. It just looks pretty.
Yeah, and I actually hate Cincinnati's, man.
Really?
They're not the,
Yeah, I
fucking,
don't- I
they're
don't-
not the Snow Tigers.
It's not
dude.
the
Like,
worst.
It's not the colors.
It's
of
not the worst to me, but I don't love it either. There's other ones I like less than it though.
Yeah, and I mean that's letting them off the hook because that shit looks awful.
Yeah, I hate that.
Saints. That Saints
Yeah.
one looks
If
terrible.
they would have did it without that, they should have just put regular gold stripe on
Yeah.
it. But go ahead, go.
I was going to pick Cincinnati because it has no bearing to their uniform colors at
Yeah.
all.
Oh, this is a generational thing then.
Well, no,
so
because it's
goddamn
just like
generic.
you want
Well,
some.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool, but it doesn't.
in a vacuum. It's cool.
Right, but it doesn't tie to their uniform at all.
yeah, I don't like that. There's no bangle.
Yeah, it's
That's
no
how it
bangle
kind
to
of.
it.
But
This is how the government's sucking you in to believe everything that they put in front of you.
there's
Your
been a lot of-
generation's falling.
There's
for
been a
it,
lot of
so.
edits. There's been a lot of edits of like this exact helmet.
Yeah.
It gave the fans what they wanted.
I'm
as
sure the
far as
fans
thing.
want it. Yeah,
Yeah, the fans want lots of things.
It's
but
a nice. I think it looks good with
I
the
was
white
gonna
jerseys.
pick-
It's alternate.
I was going to pick the Bears just to bother Mark, but I don't like the Cowboys. I got to be honest. I just don't like it.
So these four are throwbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're forgetting.
So yeah. So those are alternate throwbacks.
yeah. I don't like the alternate. I don't like the Cowboy. I just don't like it that
Which
much.
that one? Yeah, I mean,
they're kind of what's different,
They
really.
have the outline.
Yeah,
The four throwbacks are actually tight, dude. I
I don't
giving you
like-
shit. I like the
I
Giants.
want the Giants to switch back to that.
I don't
like
like
that
the Cowboys
better.
with the outlined star. I think it looks.
The white one looks better, right? Without
Yeah,
all
that looks better. That I think of the Colts. I look at it. I think of the Colts immediately.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Branding.
Yeah, I hate the Cowboys.
I
so.
think all the throwbacks look good.
I think I do like the Bears alternative helmet, but
I like that.
that jersey combo with the all orange, I think is ugly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that it's too. Yeah,
I don't
It's,
think
it,
it's,
it reminds me of Seahawks. It just looks like a traffic
they could
cone.
have did something better with the combo, but maybe on the jersey because what I seen didn't look like that. So maybe the jersey, if they have the blue piping on the sleeves.
Yeah, but if they just wear like the normal blue jerseys with that orange helmet, great uniform.
think so.
It's just too much orange. All of the like from
Now-
top to bottom just looks
now
like
the star of the show is the Browns with the elf.
Kegel.
But that
the
one you
elf,
sent in the chat, the white Browns helmet with the brown helmet was pretty funny.
That's a good meme.
No.
Yeah, so I guess let us know what you think. Best and worst alternative throwbacks, etc.
All right, so I think it's time to get on to our next session, which is Ass of the Week.
Ass of the week.
That guy's an asshole.
I don't even remember who the S is.
It's Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot speaking of the Bears.
Oh, there she is.
Oh yeah,
There she
You guys
is.
got to fill me in on this one.
Jersey's jokes. All right, so
I definitely thought she was American Indian from the name. 100%.
Yeah.
okay.
Lori
So
Lightfoot.
Do what you want with
Mayor
that.
of Chicago Lori
Canceled.
Lightfoot has, in an attempt to keep the Bears, who are thinking of moving, I think it's 30 miles away.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the Bears in Soldier Field in Chicago, has made 3 different proposals for stadium upgrades and stuff to that sort to keep them there, and they all include a dome. So I just thought, I mean,
in the Winter Wonderland,
the tone deafness of the mayor of Chicago to not understand what Soldier Field is and what it represents, especially in that division and just in the NFL in general. Put a dome over Soldier Field, I think, would be pretty close to blasphemy.
I get that, but I mean, what did Minnesota just do? Not too many.
They're
years
not
back?
Chicago. They're not Chicago.
Yeah, they're not.
Well, thank you for admitting that.
I mean, Chicago in that division, Chicago.
Well, they
Chicago,
win. They're
fair.
at least 500.
But I'm saying Chicago and Green Bay, Lambeau, Soldier Field are Lambeau and Soldier Field. It's Arrowhead Stadium. You don't put a dome on Arrowhead. You don't put a dome on Lambeau. I mean, it doesn't sit right with me, and I think it's pretty asinine. I mean, why the dome? I mean,
why?
I get it.
Because we have a soft Ohio State quarterback. That's why we put the dome on there. He gets a little gold. His feetsies get a little gold.
In a stadium without a dome, so that doesn't make any sense.
Well, to be fair, they want to be able to have other events in the building, obviously, so they can make money. But I mean, it's Soldier Field. You can't put a dome on Soldier Field.
And this is the thing that's tough, right? In sports today is that and you see it more and more often. There's so much nostalgia, and we're taking that away. We're canceling shit. We're knocking goddamn.
There it is.
We're knocking statues down, right? We're tearing up. But I mean, they put goddamn.
What that have to do with football?
They put bleachers above the Green Monster in Boston, for crying out loud. If you've ever been in Fenway,
great seats.
That shit is. Walking into Fenway is probably one of the greatest, like, as a fan, and I'm not a Boston Red Sox fan, but it's probably one of the greatest, like, sports moments that you'll have in your life.
I don't think the seats ruin it, though.
You're like, holy shit, man! I'm like walking back in the time, but it's just that. Well, it's just the dome, I mean, you can make the same argument.
No. I mean, here's my issue with it. I don't care if she wants to do a dome. Do a dome if you want to do a dome. I don't care.
Well, I don't think they're staying anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Browns are going to do a dome. It's just, listen, it's cold. People don't want to be in the cold.
The Browns have only been in the league like 20 years though. So
yeah, well, according to Mark, but you live in a city.
That's right.
With the tightest gun control laws.
Wow, we're really going.
And you average 194 murders a month.
How does that have to do with the dome?
Listen,
that's
Lori,
a number straight from Google, isn't
this is
it?
a different show right here.
No, but if you want a project, work on that. Don't leave the engineers.
Or better yet,
let the owner put a dome up.
We're gonna better hairline. Holy shit! Look at that. That's like a 7 head up there.
I mean, no
that
offense.
thing is enormous.
Yeah. You don't need to worry. You've had 971 murders.
So you're saying she should build a dome around certain areas of the city so people can't get shot?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's bigger things I think a mayor should worry about.
Well, I think
than a football dome.
To be fair, this is a big deal. Keeping the Bears in Chicago is a big deal because it drives economy. There's jobs involved. There's a lot that it's.
I mean, having a football team that's won 2 games in the last 3 years, that keeps the economy rolling there. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hey, we love women leaders.
God,
oh no, we do.
Not all of them.
How to bring us back?
Look at that facial. She looks like Finding Dory with that facial expression.
All right, Phil, you want to touch my leg?
Oh, shit.
No, not really. Let's get on to class of the week.
I'm Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Man, been the
You stay
legend.
classy, San Diego.
So who's our class?
Body
week?
the body.
Yeah, to make
That's
us
a bad accent.
to make us look decent in the public eye again after that ass of the week there.
Yeah.
Patty the Baddie, after winning a match.
Oh, he's
Talked
after me
about-
Lucky Charms.
He's not
There
Irish.
we go. There we go again.
He's definitely not Irish.
He had a friend pass away from suicide, and he
Yeah.
was told about that, and then he decided to use that as a platform to talk about men's mental health, how it's not talked about too often, that and there's a stereotype in the world that men can't really go out and talk about their feelings or keep things inside too much, and that there's more male suicides than there are in any other suicides. So.
Sure is.
Class of the week
Especially
for
within
Patty.
a certain age group that he's in. So it was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You don't really see it too often, especially about something of that concept or topic. It's just not highlighted as much as it should. So yeah,
And Patty the Batty's electric, man. I don't know if you guys watch much UFC, but he's a dude.
Yeah, he's a fighter.
He is very electric, to say the least. He's one of those rising characters,
give us a breakdown.
like Sugar.
Sugar's Sean? Yeah.
Sugar's very.
You like the white guys, huh?
Huh?
You a big fan of the white fighters?
No, I just like guys that can talk shit and then back it up, dude. And they do. And Patty the Batty. And I've read reports on him too. He's actually made fun of a bunch in the circle for when he's not in his training. Like he eats like shit and puts on a ton of weight.
Yeah, he does.
And then cuts down to this. And they're like, oh my God, how do you do that? And he's just like, I have discipline. I can do it. He's like, I like to enjoy what I enjoy, but I have discipline and I can do it.
I feel like UFC has got to be one of the tough, like to get into the ring. Like boxing's bad enough. Mm-hmm. You know, like when I was a young kid, I boxed, and for a story that a very politically incorrect story I won't say on air. I'll tell you guys off air.
Are you punching bag?
No, I'll tell you guys off air. But
you're a fluffer for boxers?
No, that's on air politically incorrect. But I think getting in the ring, like, it's got to be like you're getting hit. Like it's tough. These guys are not like playing around. You know, it's got to be a pretty frightening feeling to walk into that.
It's pretty tough. How'd you handle your first fight?
Mine?
Yeah.
I won. Dude, I was undefeated fighting.
Yeah?
I've been in hundreds of fights, dude.
Hundreds?
The other guy.
Wow. With who?
I've been in a lot of fights. You guys don't give South Jersey the proper credit it deserves, goddammit.
But hundreds of fights?
Yeah, there's hundreds, dude.
Okay.
I mean, like, probably 150 of them was, like, the same kid. But
Wait.
Is your family member?
I was going to catch you on a technicality.
One of my buddies down the street, but
All right.
he was an asshole.
What's his name?
Can we get a name?
No name.
Can we give him a name?
Because we're friends now.
I think his name was Timmy.
Timmy.
You're not far off.
Okay.
There's definitely a double consonant and a Y at the end.
Jimmy.
No.
So we're just not going to say his name, but we're going to say his name.
All right. Well, thank you, Patty, for shedding light on
Patty the Batty. I like that.
big issue for men.
Yeah.
That's right. So let's get to our next section, which is going to be.
I don't think we have a drop.
We don't have a drop for this.
Yeah, we have a drop for fantasies.
Here we go. Here we're going with
Let's make one up on the fly.
Jimmy G or
Would you rather?
question mark.
And I think young Zach with a K is going to lead us through this.
Yeah, so this is a popular thing that some people do, and we're going to do it as well. So there's a lot of speculation about Jimmy Garoppolo. Will he be traded? He's now given permission to seek a trade. A lot of people in the building are saying that Trey Lance isn't ready yet. A lot of people outside of the building are saying it's an early Christmas present if we do face Trey Lance early in the season. Mm-hmm. So it begs the question, is Jimmy G, the better quarterback? Is he better than your quarterback? So I'm going to list a few quarterbacks, and then I'm going to leave it up to the panel. I don't know how you guys want to do it, if you want to kind of riff off or not.
I think what we could do, I think the best way to do is maybe go through each of us and have us talk about our QBs, and then maybe throw out 2 or 3 other ones that can actually
we could just throw it out like, would you rather Jimmy G or herpes type 2?
Okay.
I think we should rein this in somehow. Yeah.
So I was going to just say, I was going to give a quarterback, and I was going to let you guys
That's what you should do.
Okay.
I think we should do, because otherwise we're going to get the herpes.
And then this is
the fluffers and,
Jimmy Garoppolo or the quarterback that's on that team currently. So is Jimmy Garoppolo replacing the current quarterback of the team?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Jimmy Garoppolo or Kirk Cousins?
That's
easy.
easy.
Are we going to go in order?
Kirk Cousins, 100%.
I would take Kirk Cousins.
Stats don't lie.
Yeah, I would take Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm the mediator.
No, you got to talk.
Holy shit, that's I
would say Jimmy Garoppolo only for this reason, because he's
attractive and you like Subway sandwiches.
I don't know what the Subway sandwiches thing has. What is that?
He's in the commercial.
Yeah, he's in the commercial.
$5
I didn't know that.
Footlongs, man.
Tells a lot about Rocky. They knew that. Jimmy Garoppolo's been to a Super Bowl. He's played in meaningful games. He hasn't made a lot of mistakes. The fact that
he has made a lot of mistakes and they still won.
I don't think Well, okay, sure. I'll go with that point instead. And the Vikings are a better team than, I don't want to say all of the 49ers teams, but
are they though?
The Vikings this year are going to be better with Jimmy Garoppolo than they would be with Kirk Cousins.
The 49ers are Kirk Cousins away from being in the NFC Championship game.
I think you're low key, like you
Jesus,
respect.
I'm gonna burn myself.
You respect the Vikings a little bit.
I
No
think,
cap.
I think the Vikings are going to be a good team this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, I said it.
Why wasn't Jimmy G in your top 5 for hottest celebrities to bunk with?
Hey,
We all
Jimmy G's a
pick Jimmy
good-looking
G.
guy.
No, he's a handsome fellow.
Yeah, he's a handsome fellow.
He is a
There's no
handsome
doubt
fellow.
about him.
You low key like him.
Yeah, no,
Those eyes are electrifying.
I high key like him. He's a good-looking man.
High key, huh? Okay.
Okay, the next one. This quarterback just signed with the team.
Jimmy G, come on the show.
Okay.
Let's talk.
What do you
You, know,
mean?
you guys talk a lot about Jimmy G for
Yeah,
somebody that making fun of me for it. But
I'm not. I listen. I was right there with you. Michael B. Jordan can come on the show too.
Jesus Christ. Matt Ryan or Jimmy Garoppolo for the Colts.
Ooh, that is interesting.
That's loaded because Matt Ryan's at the tail end of his career.
All right, just answer the question.
To win now, Matt Ryan. Future, Jimmy G.
Just pick one.
You have to pick for this upcoming season.
All right, they're built to
Yeah.
win.
Jesus
No,
Christ, he already said it.
No, they're built to win in the future. Jimmy G.
All right. I'm going Matt Ryan.
I'll go Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna. I'll pick Matt Ryan. I'm gonna pick Matt Ryan. I think because he has a year, not a year to prove it, but he wants to play meaningful football again. I think Jimmy G knows he has maybe some time. I feel like the Colts are they built to win now more than they are in the future? I think yes, because a lot of their players are in their prime right now. Jonathan Taylor might be the only exception, but their line, their defensive line and offensive line both kind of are
All their offensive
What's
weapons
going
are
on?
young.
Yeah, but they're not really necessarily
Taylor,
proven.
Pittman.
I don't think MPJ is like that, all that good. I think he's a good piece on the team. Besides Jonathan Taylor, I think they should win now more than they should win later.
The face. All right, who's the next guy?
You had something to say there?
And
No, but that's-
always.
Michael
don't-
Pittman, dude, is
Always.
a stud.
Michael Pittman's good, yeah, but is he?
I mean, we
He's
all have
top
stuff to
15
say.
wide
We-
receiver.
He's a top
But,
15
I
wide
mean,
receiver.
He's a top 15 wide receiver who's never done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he will.
Okay.
All right, go on.
Okay. Dak Prescott or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Do we have to factor in the contracts?
Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
The contract would make me think.
Dude,
about
it's
it, but
actually
Prescott.
it's a question for me.
Dak Prescott has not done it with the Cowboys. He's
He
had
has
a long
not.
time.
And he's had weapons and he's had an offensive line.
I still would take Prescott.
You know, Prescott's accurate. I'm going Prescott too. He's an accurate quarterback.
Easily swayed there.
I just don't want to get fucking blown up on
Oh, what a
Jimmy G to Dallas. Jesus Christ, I'll be arguing with Sean for the next goddamn month on 4 different platforms.
You know what? I'm switching my pick. I'm going Jimmy G.
There you go. There it is.
Because you want Sean to
You
get
want
married.
to-
No, it's not just that
You call him out.
because you spark something like Dak hasn't done anything.
Well,
No.
because he was injured for a year.
Listen, Jimmy G. Everybody forget he had that one bad game in the playoffs.
Right.
Leading up to that, he was
Solid.
He's
he
competent.
wasn't just solid.
competent.
No, he was winning games.
He's competent.
He was winning games before that. That whole season, check his stats. He was winning games. He had a bad playoff game. They got scared to let him throw the ball, and then that was it.
They got
And then he
scared.
was, and let's not forget the coach, the guy who gave up that lead. He was offensive coordinator on the Falcons team
So
that
who-
tucked the ball in his
So,
ass.
Zach, who do you think?
And he studied behind Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. So unless he was just like running through hose in New England and not paying attention,
And
like
he's better.
Jimmy G,
And he's better looking than Dak Prescott.
who looks a lot like the Chicago mayor.
I would like to say Dak Prescott
What?
because I think the Cowboys suck, and I would like to keep them to continuously be bad. Jimmy Garoppolo would just, refresh that offense. So I would say Jimmy Garoppolo if I was being honest. So, yeah.
What we got? What else we got?
We got, how many more should I go? I have
Let's go
let's go.
one more and then do our teams.
Oh, man. Can I get 2 more?
Yeah, two
Okay,
more.
sure.
Okay. Jameis Winston or Jimmy Garoppolo?
I take Jameis.
Jimmy. That one's easy for me.
Jameis, easy.
Jameis Winston and that offense. I'll let you guys go.
I say Jameis.
So you're going
Winston.
Jameis in that offense.
I guess I'll go Jameis. Yeah,
I'll
and
go
I
Jameis.
think they were. I mean, it was a very short sample size, but they were one of the best offenses, if not the best offense, when he was playing quarterback for the Saints. They were 2-0 or 3-0 or something like that.
Yeah, and I would go Jimmy because now we're talking they need a smart quarterback
No, they don't.
who can manage an offense without making mistakes.
That's what
what
hurt
Drew
them
Brees-
when Drew Brees was there.
That's what Drew Brees did.
And
yeah.
pay
They need
for
somebody to stretch the field.
and pay for his own seafood.
yeah.
Oh, come on, man. He was a kid. You got in hundreds of fights.
Jameis looked really good in that small stretch.
This
but-
is pretty.
Jameis looked good. This is crazy, but minus the interception in Tampa. But he was a young player.
yeah, but
The
that's
ceiling
still
on
Jameis.
Jameis, I know, but the ceiling on even if you could rein that in and get it around 20 or 18 picks with 35, 36 touchdowns, 5,000 yards passing, I'll take that.
But let me ask
with
you a
that
question:
team.
Who was the coach when Jameis looked good in New Orleans?
Oh, that's fair.
Sean Payton.
That's
He's
fair.
Not there.
No, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
Oh, you
reigned-
mean in New Orleans? I thought you were talking about the
Sean
Bucs. Yeah,
Payton reined him
yeah.
in. I'm afraid that he's going to revert back to who he was.
Oh, that's good. That's actually
It's possible.
Yeah, that's just my.
But he
I-
also could have learned and just stays that way.
I hope
as
so.
well.
I hope so because
I just think Jimmy G doesn't move the needle enough to meet like the upside for Winston.
Jimmy G is. You're right because there was a reason why the coach in San Francisco was afraid to let him throw. He looks awkward when he throws, but he's a great game manager. He can run a little bit. He's smart, and he doesn't make mistakes. He's got.
Well, no, you can't say
Career-
that because he just said he made a couple mistakes and you laughed him off saying he's made a lot of mistakes and they want to
Well,
stop him. So don't do that.
He's
okay?
looked ugly in that playoff game. He looked
Yes,
ugly.
he did.
He looked ugly.
Well, I was arguing for Jimmy G, but I'm saying with Winston,
I just think with
is
those
he could throw
weapons,
for 5,000 yards and 36 touchdowns.
but with those weapons in New Orleans, man, I like to see Jimmy.
I would like to see Winston stretch the field because
Yep.
he has the
Me too.
balls to throw it between.
I think
That's
Winston-
and
safety
that's
and
my
the quarterback.
fear. That's
no,
my
but that's
fear.
what you need sometimes.
my
Unless you
fear.
got a team, they're not the Ravens. That they
Sometimes,
got,
not every time.
not every time, but they don't have that team.
Alvin Kamara, if he plays, is going to be that much better if he's not like the focal point, the running back, because Jimmy G teams have had to have the running back really be the kind of the quarterback.
Might as well have Taysom Hill out there if you're going to run Jimmy G out there. Because he could run.
Okay,
Taysom Hill's a tight end.
this might be a quick one. Russell Wilson or Jimmy Garoppolo for the
Russell
Broncos.
Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Okay, we're all in
Yeah.
agreement on that one. Okay, so this might also be another quick one, but I would like to see Jimmy Garoppolo or Tom Brady.
Okay. Can I go first?
Tom Brady.
Yeah. Tom Brady has a career winning percentage of 76.8%.
Oh boy,
And
this
what's
is
Jimmy's?
such a slant.
Jimmy's is 75%. So am I saying that
So what's
Jimmy's better? No, but I'm saying he's almost as good.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but who's better?
Tom
looking?
Brady.
Who's better looking? That's the real.
Jimmy,
That's the real
Jimmy
question.
G. Jimmy G.
You think Jimmy G? What do you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
think?
I think
Who's better
Giselle's
looking?
walking home with Jimmy.
Jimmy G's definitely
Yeah,
better.
Giselle's leaving Tom for Jimmy.
You think so?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I had to sit. I had to think long and hard about this.
And the money's close too, because he got the big contract.
No, that's true.
You know,
So what are we saying here?
Tom.
I'm saying Tom.
All right, I was reeling for some bait.
Yeah.
We didn't get any.
We're stupid, but not that
We
stupid.
passed the test, boys.
All right, so now we get to put you on the spot since we're all
No,
going to
no,
do
no.
our
Let
own
him go
quarterbacks.
last. Let him go last.
What? Jimmy G versus Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, let him go. We're all gonna go. Let him go last.
Not even a-
Well, we already know Mark's pick.
What? Yeah, Jimmy G or whatever. Justin Fields.
What's his name?
Justin Fields.
The
Um,
Justin Fields.
Oh, man, this is tough. I don't think Chicago is necessarily set up for a pocket passer. I think they set themselves up for a mobile quarterback. And being that he is a little bit younger, I'd want to stick with Fields.
Can I say something real quick? They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
set up for anything. If you start with
Dude, this is coming from somebody who has Jalen Hurts as
no,
the quarterback.
the Eagles
Jalen
are
Hurts
set
is-
up. Stop it. The Eagles had the best
Bullshit.
run offense in the league last year when they
So,
got together.
One at a time.
Do me a
fellas.
favor. Do me a favor. Google easiest run schedule, and Chicago has the easiest opponents to run against
See,
this year.
that's it.
So they're set up for a mobile offense,
That's a
and they're
small
going to
detail.
run through David Montgomery. They need Fields to be able to get outside the pocket, because sitting in the pocket, he's not going to do anything. They have Darnell Mooney basically on a fucking island with no other receivers, and they have a tight end that is also pretty goddamn mobile himself. This offense is set up for mobility, and they need Justin Fields.
I just think that the Justin Fields, it's either the Bears don't have enough time to give Justin Fields, or Justin Fields doesn't have enough time to give the Bears. They're just for Justin Fields to be in that offense. Is Jimmy G going to be that much worse or better? I think he can elevate them to a few extra wins, but longevity-wise, Jimmy Garoppolo is the better quarterback for the Bears. The Bears can...
False.
No, the Bears can do more with Jimmy Garoppolo. They can build around an easier quarterback to build around.
Name the offense that they would run with Jimmy G.
Name the last Ohio State quarterback to be good. I mean, you're gonna
that,
roll the dice on that, and it's the Bears on top of that.
But name the offense that they would run with Jimmy G.
One that has been proven. You have a good running back. That's all you need with a Jimmy Garoppolo offense.
They don't have an offense that is built for a pocket passer.
What is the offense built for, though? Because isn't it a new coach, a new system coming in?
Which is built for Justin Fields. They're building it for Justin Fields.
Which is the reason why they let go of Andy Dalton. They let go of all these other guys, because they need somebody that when Justin Fields isn't there, they're going to be able to, kind of...
Who's the backup quarterback in Chicago?
I don't even fucking know
Geno
right
Smith?
now.
Where's Geno? Oh, no.
It's Trevor Siemian, by the way.
Who is
pocket passer.
There you go, yeah.
Is he?
That's it.
You look it up. Trevor Siemian's actually
That's
very,
a kick
very
in the
mobile.
shorts. I'm not gonna
No.
Oh, guess who the
It'd
third
be
string?
a kick in the shorts if it was true. Trevor
He's
Siemian is
not-
actually very mobile.
He's not immobile.
Guess.
He's not a mobile quarterback, though.
Who, Trevor Siemian? Trevor
Yes.
Siemian's getting a little bit older,
He's
but
not immobile. I'm not saying that he's
I would like to-
a stiff.
For the record,
I'm not saying that.
For the record,
But he's not
is that,
nowhere near
is that
Justin
online mobile?
Fields.
The third
Electronic
quarterback.
mobile?
Immobile?
Immobile?
You want me to say immobile? Sorry.
The third quarterback
from South Jersey.
for the Chicago Bears is Nathan Peterman.
Okay. Also another mobile quarterback.
A terrible quarterback.
But he was mobile. So the point is
Yeah,
that...
because when he has more interceptions than completions, like he has to run. At
All
that
right,
point.
dude, again, you're a fucking Eagles fan. Dude, you have Jalen Hurts as your quarterback.
And I'll just say it, Jalen Hurts I would pick over Jimmy Garoppolo because the Eagles actually are built for Jalen Hurts. We've accommodated enough.
Are you joking?
And-
You actually, if anybody has an offense for a fucking pocket passer, it's Philadelphia. You have A.J. Brown, you have Devontae Smith, you have Dallas Goedert, and you have a running back that's known for catching. If anybody is built for pocket passing, it's Philadelphia.
No, the fact that you can run with Jalen Hurts.
You're just getting Philly studs to make up for his shortcomings, which is he can't fucking pocket pass. So now you got to move him out. So now you're like, now we got to get really good dudes that are fast that can catch to make up for Jalen Hurts' shortcomings.
All right, yeah. So anyway,
Which is Kyler Murray. He's
well,
Kyler fucking Murray.
Hey, listen. So what I'll say is, I would, in
I like when the
response
side
to
of the table
both of you
argues.
guys,
I like when we argue.
I would take Hurts over Garoppolo.
Thank you.
I would also take Fields over Garoppolo.
No.
Yeah, I would. I just don't see the upside with Garoppolo. I think we know what he is, and you got two young guys that are mobile, and I'd rather roll the dice on those guys.
Simeon's actually a decent runner when he's run.
Yeah, I know.
No shit,
but
dude.
it's
I
not-
don't make stuff up.
He's not Justin Fields, though. That's not the same
No,
thing.
he's
Oh,
not
no,
Justin
he's not
Fields.
Justin Fields.
He's a quarterback that can run.
But exactly. But
All right.
so what I'm saying is they're not going and getting backups
We don't have
that
to.
are pocket
Yeah, I got it.
passers.
We got it. I agree with you.
Well, let's
I'll
hear
take
what you
him.
have to say, because your fucking quarterback situation's a goddamn calamity.
Well, listen.
I don't know what you're laughing at, so it's yours.
I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna let it brush off my shoulder because I actually agree with you. You're just throwing shots at me, and I understand that because you're
Yeah, 'cause I'm angry.
you're an
You're
emotional
hurt.
man.
You're hurt,
And you
and
don't
I
know
get
how
it.
to control yourself, and that's cool.
You've
Obviously.
got a top 5 quarterback,
That's
and I
so-
get it.
Listen,
You're hurt.
obviously, for
You're
the same reason I would take those two guys. I don't want Garoppolo. I don't want Garoppolo at all unless I had I don't even know. Unless I had Jared Goff or something, I might want Garoppolo because that makes more sense. But no, I want Jones because the upside, he's young, and I want to see what happens. I don't want Garoppolo. I know what Garoppolo is. What he is not exciting. If I have a top 5 defense, if I have a top 5 special teams,
Yeah.
if I have a proven coach that's won Super Bowls before, then give me Garoppolo because you just need a steady hand.
And that's my
Outside
thought.
of that,
Yeah.
you don't want Garoppolo.
Who does he go? Who trades? Who does it make sense to trade for Garoppolo?
If New England didn't have Mac Jones, it makes sense.
Seattle.
One other team. No,
Seattle.
Seattle doesn't because their defense is. I mean, it's okay this year,
For the
but
same reason the Giants wouldn't take Garoppolo, the Seahawks probably wouldn't take
there's
Garoppolo.
one
I don't
team. Honestly, there's one team.
Well, just say
It's
it.
the Browns.
Nice time. Yeah.
Like if Deshaun gets suspended for a year,
I can see that.
it would make sense for the Browns to trade for him because you might say
You got the running
he's
game, you
better
got the
than
defense.
Jacoby Brissett.
Good
He
segue,
is.
Rocky.
So you don't think Jimmy G is better than Drew Lock?
I don't think Seattle's built to win enough to make that trade.
Yeah,
So
why
we're
would you
saying
give
that
up
Jimmy G is going to push you over the edge of winning?
over Jacoby Brissett?
I think
Over
that's-
Jacoby
wait,
Brissett.
I think there's two different conversations.
Cleveland.
I see the angle that you're taking.
I think Cleveland is set up similar to San Francisco last year. They have I
Right.
think have a top 8 defense, and they've got a great running game, decent receivers, maybe even better than decent this year. We'll see. And Jimmy just has to run an offense and not screw up.
He's got to make 3 throws a game. That's what you want from him.
Those are the two, because I think more so with me picking Jimmy Garoppolo over Justin Fields is he's a better quarterback.
Would you shut the fuck up about that already?
But he's not. But it doesn't matter anything. But it doesn't matter
stole
anything
my
to Chicago.
quarterback room of
For
calamity.
Chicago, it's better to let Justin Fields
And
develop.
that's fair. That's fair.
And I agree with you because I think first of all I think Daniel Jones is better than we.
I don't even want to get
Yeah.
into the Dan Jones
Yeah.
thing. It's too
But
long
they've
for this.
surrounded him. Like I want to see what Wandell.
Wandell Carter, yeah.
I want to see what
Wandell
they do
Robinson.
with Wandell
What am I thinking about
Robinson.
Carter? Who's Carter?
I want to see
Wendell Carter
Kadarius. I want to see
Magic.
Galladay.
That's what I thought.
I want to see I want to see what he does.
I'll just say this real quick, 30 seconds about that. The thing is, with Daniel Jones, when he was drafted his first year, which, whatever, I can't remember the guy's name. The freaking coach we had before. That's how quick he was there. I don't
Pat
remember.
Shurmur?
Pat Shurmur. Under his offense was a little more open than Garrett's offense. Threw for 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions as a rookie, 3,400 yards, something like that. His big issue his first year was getting the ball stripped in the pocket, okay? He cleaned that up in his second year, but that offense he was in was a 2005 offense. They did not run a lot of sets with they ran the least motion in the league on offense. Right? They were running out of 2 wide receiver sets all the time. His second year, Darius Slayton was his wide receiver 1. So it was that leaky offensive line. It was just a shitty situation. So I think you've seen the talent with being able to run the ball and the accuracy in his rookie year. He wasn't throwing interceptions left and right. His second year, he didn't throw interceptions left and right. He had 1 bad game against Tampa Bay, threw 4 interceptions. Outside of that, he was pretty efficient with passing. But the injury thing for me is the biggest question mark.
It's a very long 30 seconds.
Can I ask you
I
guys?
think it was about 30 seconds. I'm watching the clock right now.
Can I ask you a different question? Take Jimmy G, put him away, and say Gardner. Yeah.
Gardner.
Sounds like a
Gardner.
Pokemon.
Take Gardner. What do you think about him? Because I think he's been given. I think he's gotten a raw deal
I think
in the
it's-
NFL.
I think it's 2 different offenses in Philly.
69% completion percentage.
Nice.
This guy's got almost 100% quarterback
QBR.
rating.
Yeah. He's a gunslinger for sure.
But he's a gunslinger that doesn't throw a ton of interceptions. Like, I think this guy's gotten a raw
Yeah,
deal.
he had a bad second year, but it was on the worst franchise in the league, probably,
Right,
right?
in Jacksonville, as you said. I would love to see this guy. I'm all joking aside.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Would love to see him in Philadelphia with what he could do with
I
that
would
team.
love to-
with any team, honestly.
I would just love to keep him as our backup quarterback.
He's a great backup, but I just would love to see this guy run with a team.
Where's
really,
the best place for him to go?
I mean, wouldn't you love him in New York?
I'd still, yeah.
I'd take him in a heartbeat over Jacoby. I honest to God would.
Not want to. I would like to have him there and let them compete for the job.
Would you like him ahead of Deshaun?
No.
What about in Seattle? They could use.
I mean,
I was gonna say
Gardner
that.
Minshew.
personal reasons maybe, but Deshaun. Listen,
The Panthers.
all joking aside, Deshaun is, I think, a top. At worst, he's a top 7 quarterback talent wise.
Yes.
He just is. Like I went back just for the crap of it and watched a Houston Texans game.
No, he was good. He was great.
He top 5, 2020 top 5 quarterback week after week after week with with nothing around him.
Where did a lot of his production come from?
I mean, he was throwing as much to Brandon Cooks deep as he was throwing to his running backs, and he didn't have any good running backs.
I mean, I just remember, like, from a fantasy angle, I just remember a lot of his production coming at the end of the game because they were trailing a lot.
I mean, there was some of that for sure. I mean, there was some of that. He was playing from behind.
Will Fuller.
Yeah.
Fuller was in and out, no?
Yeah, he was playing from behind. You're right, but that didn't but he was accurate.
I'm curious to see how he's going to do set up as the guy post all this shit that went on with him. To see
He's
if
been
he
out
really
for 2 years and he's rusty as hell. Yeah. And I mean, it's going to be at least.
But I mean, that's no excuse because backup quarterbacks do that all the time. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick made a goddamn career out of it.
Excuse.
Best backup quarterback ever.
Yeah, there's no excuse. I'm just saying
Nick Foles won a
that
Super Bowl.
I don't like Gardner isn't that type of quarterback.
Everything else, but
that's fair.
Gardner, but I do think. Man, I don't know. I think there's something special about that guy.
Gardner, yeah.
Well,
I like Gardner.
That's cute.
No,
I wonder what the prop bet was for the show that for me pissing Mark off in this episode.
Hey, but I tell you what, it was a good show. It was a long show. Wait till I tell you guys how long. But we appreciate you sticking with us, and please, you follow us on the socials at UFL Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, especially here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And leave comments if you like, man. Peace. We love you. Peace.
Peace again.